So first of all, thank you very much for agreeing the interview.
No worries.
And welcome to Rome by Wild.
First time.
Yeah, no, it's the first time in Rome.
Yes.
Have you ever been there, like visiting the city?
Nope, I've never been to Rome at all. My girlfriend in America, she's been here 3 times. And she said, you have to go and see some of the stuff, you know, but I don't know how much time I'm gonna have today. I leave tomorrow, so we'll see.
Yeah, next time maybe.
Yeah, longer stay too.
So I know you're touring Europe to promote your new album,
Yes.
which is called Unplugged,
Yeah.
out on the 13th of November.
Yes.
And what do we have to expect from the record?
Basically what I did is I took maybe 6 songs from my past and, you know, electric song, whatever, and I just took everything away and just played with acoustic guitar, 2 acoustic guitars, bass, not even drums, just shakers, bongos, and I'm singing with 4 harmonies, 4-part harmonies. So we just took the songs and stripped them as minimal as possible. And then there's 5 or 6 new songs on the record as well. And we did the same thing. And I just remember very, very early in my career, I met R.I.P. Steve Marriott from Humble Pie. And he told me, if you can play a song on an acoustic guitar and entertain an audience, then it's a good song. So I just wanted to do an acoustic record. I've never done one.
Yeah, in fact, I wanted to ask you why you turned to acoustic. You've always been in the hard sound.
Yeah, well, if you look at every record that I've ever done, you know, the Scream, there was Father, Mother, Son, and there was a couple acoustic songs in there. On the Motley record, there was Love Shine, and then we did the beginning of Misunderstood was acoustic. And then Union, same thing. There was quite a few acoustic songs. So I've always kind of mixed hard rock with the other, you know what I mean? So this time I just said all acoustic. Just wanted to try it and see, you know? So far everybody likes the idea. They like the new versions of the old songs, like Hooligan's Holiday, and they're like, oh yeah, it's cool, it's funny, it's different, you know, whatever, but everybody seems to like it, so I'm happy, you know. It was just something to try, something new for me, you know.
Do you play any other instrument other than guitar and just your voice in the record?
Pretty much just the guitar and my voice. I have a great band at home. My guitar player's great guitar player, great. He thought of all the harmonies, my guitar player. He's amazing. You met D.A. on the boat. Yeah, D.A. Carcos. He's amazing. And then Topher, my bass player, is also a great singer. And then my drummer now, I just got a new drummer named Cheney Brannon. And he was in the band Collective Soul. But he's great drummer, great singer, great guy. So I didn't have to do anything else. I just play guitar, a couple solos, and then sing and let them do the rest. I'm lazy that way.
And what about the composition of your songs? Where do you get inspiration from?
Just everything. You know, I don't know. It's weird. Like it's just different. You know, like somebody could see that plant and just ignore it, walk by it a million times, and then one time they're going to notice something in that plant that's going to inspire them to paint or write a poem or whatever. It just, things inspire me at different times. And as I get older, I'm inspired by things that I wasn't inspired by when I was younger. Like, you know, I'm very aware now of things that I wasn't aware of when I was a young boy. You know, I'm a father now. You know, and in things like the news, you know, in America, you know, those people that went into the theater and for the Batman thing and killed all those people. You know, so that inspired me. So I'm actually writing a song, pretty much saying this to my government. You know, get your shit together. You know, it's my whatever. It's just that thing inspired me. So it changes.
And I wanted to ask, you've been part of many groups, like Union, The Scream, Motley Crue, and so on. Why now you're going on solo?
Well, it was weird, you know, when you're younger, you're just like, oh, I got to put a band together, you know what I mean? So The Scream, like somebody just asked me yesterday, like, you know, the same thing, like, you know, The Scream and Motley and all the different bands, and you don't really think about it at the time. Like when I put The Scream together, I loved playing with that band, and I thought we did a great record. We had a great time. We traveled together and learned and experienced all these great things together for the first time. I never knew that I was going to get a phone call from Motley. And then I was in Motley, and I never knew that they were going to bring Vince back. You know, so things have a way of life just has a way of working itself out, you know, and you just kind of adapt, you know, and whatever. But I love all the bands that I've been in. I'm very proud of everything I've done to this point. And this time I just said, you know, there's certain things when you're in a band that you go, I have an idea, and everybody has to agree with the idea. And this time maybe I'm being a little selfish. Now I can go, I have an idea and I do it my way.
Okay, so now I want to ask you, you've been asked to sing for Skid Row.
Years ago.
Yeah, yes. I know. And even for Britney Fox. But then for Motley Crue, of course, and that was the only one you said yes to. Why Motley Crue, yes?
You know, it was just, the timing was weird. When, like, I've known, it was funny, when I was born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And my very first band that went from Philadelphia to LA, when we moved out there, I was trying to get Dave Sabo, the guitar player from Skid Row, and Johnny D to come with me to California. They wouldn't do it. And, you know, it was weird when eventually when Dave sent me some of their demos, what became Skid Row, he sent me demos, and there was a lot of interest in the band that I was in California from record labels. So I was like, I don't want to move back, you know, you know what I mean? I have this band here, there's label interest. And then when Britney Fox called me, I just got a record deal with The Scream. So it wasn't the right time. And even the Motley thing, when I went to talk with those guys and like jam with them, I came back and I talked to my band about it, and I really wasn't sure if I wanted to do it. And everybody was like, dude, you're crazy. This is a huge band. Like, this is, you know, now I also, at the time, my son was very little. He had diabetes, a lot of medical bills. So they were saying, this is a way for you to travel the world, play music, make a lot of money, and take care of your family. And and on top of that, I did like Tommy and Nikki and Mick, and I was having fun. So I said, okay, I'll do this, you know. And it's funny, a lot of fans still, they're not happy with me for doing the Motley Crue thing. Some fans, not Alex. But it was an opportunity that I don't think anybody would have turned down. It being in my position at the time, you know what I mean? So I hope at some point everybody understands that someday, you know what I mean? And stops writing me.
And as a musician, how much of your own you've left behind to join the group? Because of course, you have your project and your way of doing music and composition and whatever. But then you enter a group which was yet formed, so you had to fit in.
You know, it's really weird because somebody, again, asked me this question recently, and it was funny. It was very easy being in that band. The first night I went, I auditioned, and I sang maybe 4 or 5 of their songs. So they said, "Can you come tomorrow?" And I said, "Yeah." So when I showed up, it was the band, all their wives, and their lawyer and the record, their lawyer and their 2 managers were there. So we do the songs again, the same songs, 5 or 6 songs, and they're like, "Okay, you know, whatever." So I was there maybe 2 hours talking to everybody. So all the guys in the suits, they leave, and the Motley guys say, you know, they said, "Okay, we're done," you know, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, you know, let's jam a little bit, let's jam." And that day, so my second time meeting them and playing with them, that night we jammed. I grabbed a guitar, and they were like, "Oh, you play guitar?" And I said, yeah. So we started jamming, and the first day that we were jamming together, kind of writing songs, we wrote almost the whole song hammered, maybe 85% done, and the acoustic part of Misunderstood the first night. And it was just easy. No thought, no effort, no arguing, just boom, 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 boom. And so they leave the room, they come back in, and they go, "It doesn't take much to figure this out. Welcome to the crew." And that was it. But it was weird that we wrote for almost a year, and it was easy. We wrote almost 30 songs. You know, it was easy. So
you've had so many projects, and you've always reinvented yourself and started anew. How much is this difficult? Do you like it? Do you mind it?
What, reinventing myself?
Yeah.
No, it's just, again, it's like, you know, when I was 18, 19 years old, you know, I just wrote songs about getting laid. I was just girls and late, you know, da-da-da. But as you grow, you get older, you don't have the same thoughts that you had when. So the things now, like, it's funny, as much as I love like the Beatles and Led Zeppelin, and there was a period where I was into those bands when I was younger, and then I went away from it for a while, and I started listening to other things, you know, Judas Priest and, you know, like heavier stuff. But then it's funny, as I get older, I come back and I look at bands like the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and Queen and like all these bands that I liked when I was younger that I went away from. And now I have a new appreciation for how they wrote their songs, the melodies, the words. So I just, as you get older, you have a different appreciation. Like, I didn't listen to the Beatles when I was younger and listen like to maybe the tonality in Paul McCartney's voice when he's singing "Oh Darling" or "Golden Slumbers." Now as a singer, I've been doing it for years, and now when I listen to it, I have a whole new appreciation of, oh my God, like, listen to his voice here. So I kind of, you know, you just kind of drift through life and you figure things out as you go, and everything changes. You know, you either grow or you die. So I that's my viewpoint or my opinion on things. But I just feel like, and maybe 5 years from now, if I'm blessed to do another interview with you, it'll be totally different. You know, maybe not. I don't know.
Now you're going on the Monsters of Rock cruise 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like the last edition?
I don't remember much of the last one. No, I had a very good time. This time I have to learn to pace myself a little bit. But no, it was great. It's like it was really cool because it's like a festival on a boat, and you can just walk back and forth, and then you meet people. Like I met Alex when I was in Palermo last year, but it's like I get on the boat and I'm like, oh, Alex, how are you? And it's like I see all these friends from all over the world. And then there was new friends that I met, those, I don't know if you remember the four guys from France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Washington. From Washington, D.C.
No. There was four guys that were hanging by the bar. They were from France. And I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? And we just start talking and, so now I'm going to France and they're all coming to see me there, so it was very cool. It's a cool way for me to sit down and have a drink and just bullshit with people from all over the world. That they admire me, I admire them, and I also get to play. Everybody's there, and it was great too because the last time I did 2 acoustic shows, and I wasn't really sure with. I wasn't really sure if it would be accepted, you know what I mean? Because everybody's walking around Iron Maiden shirts, and so I'm doing acoustic. I'm like, but it was great. Both nights I had a great turnout. Everybody clapped and had a great time. So this year I do 1 acoustic and 1 electric show. So hopefully.
Have you got the chance to see other bands?
Yeah. Well, no. I saw Kicks, I saw UFO, I saw Night Ranger, and the last night I saw just a little bit of Tesla. But I was so busy, like I was doing my things, and one day they do the meet and greet, and they said, oh yeah, maybe an hour, 2 hours, meet and greet, over. Okay. Well, all my friends in Key West, they got off the boat, and they were off the boat 5, maybe 6 hours off the boat. When they left, I started the meet and greet. When they came back, I was still in the meet and greet. So a lot of my time, my off time, well, I was still working. Whatever, but it was cool. I didn't mind. It was awesome.
Talking about other bands, do you think there's some group which has been underrated and should have more success?
King's X. Absolutely, I love that band. Seven Dust is another one. Like Seven Dust sells a lot of records, but like I look at I like Metallica too, but I look at how big Metallica is. And then I look at Seven Dust and I go, why is Seven Dust not bigger? You know what I mean? Maybe not as big as Metallica, but I love that band. I love Seven Dust, every record. And I go, man, why are these guys not bigger? I don't get it. It's weird. Maybe here in Europe, like in America, the Black Crowes are very big. In Europe, not so much. So they're another band that I like. But there's a few, and it's just weird, like the universe, the stars have to be aligned up perfectly for everybody and whatever. Sometimes it's not just about the songs or the talent, it's about the way somebody looks, which I find sad, but it's the way it is.
And the rock was king in the 80s. In the 90s, not so much, and now it's just it's called alternative music. It's not important as it was. Do you think those days can ever come back?
I don't know. See, this is the difference though that I love about Europe and America. In Europe, I feel that people here have learned the art of enjoying life. I don't hate America, I love America. I'm from America, but I love the European way of doing things. Like, you know, everything's not drive-through restaurants, and, you know, Starbucks coffee, and like everything is like, you want to have a coffee, you sit down, you have a coffee, you take a little time, you talk with each other, social, you know. And I think the music thing is the same way. Like the people that are into a band here, or maybe into an artist here, I find them to be a lot more loyal to the artist here than they are in America. America, it's like, you know, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, whoosh. Okay, no more. Now it's Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, you know, Nirvana. Okay, whoosh. Green Day, you know what I mean? And then it's like, it's not. It's just on to the next thing, and it's a very small window that these bands get, and I don't understand that, you know. Even with Union, when I did the band Union with Bruce Kulick, you know, there was actually, it was very difficult for us, you know, because people there, they look at us and they go, oh, just a couple guys from the 80s. It was in the 90s. We were trying to do something. They, you know, then they look at our age, how old we are, you know, oh, they're not going to appeal to a younger kid, and, you know, and I'm just like, I'm pretty fucking sure Mick Jagger doesn't have to go through this. The fuck? Like, why don't, you know what I mean? So it's weird. Like, I don't understand what I do to some, you know, and I don't mean to sound pretentious, but what I'm doing is art. Now, if I was a football player, my age should matter. If I was a boxer, my age should matter. But it's art. If you're a good artist, you should be able to just continue to create. I would laugh at this whole Michelangelo. No, you're too old to paint the chapel. You know what I mean? It's stupid. Whatever.
And do you think the new generation of musicians can fit all of those music business changes?
You know, my son's in a band, or, you know, and it's weird. They've got a different way of doing things. Like, you know, there's their YouTube, Facebook, MySpace, you know, Spotify, like all these, and it works for them. There's like there's the kids. They have this kind of network, this underground network, and they're on YouTube and they're on like all the stuff, and they just connect with it, and it works. And the old guys like me, I'm like, what? Facebook? What? How did, you know? So I'm figuring it out. I'm trying to like, but again, it's what I was saying earlier. You like, life is different, and you learn to adapt, and you go different things and whatever. But the only thing that I have with them, I think there's a lot of great new bands out there. The only thing that bothers me is like, I look at bands that I grew up listening to, like Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and Humble Pie, and when those bands were together, when they were successful, they go, the guitar player was great, the singer was great, the drummer, they were all great. Now so much, you know, with the computer age, Pro Tools, it's great, it works, but you don't have to be that good. You know, and you see some of these bands or whatever on the TV, and you buy the record and you're like, man, I love this fucking band. And then you see them on TV and you're like, God, they're horrible. You know, so there's good and there's bad, you know, but there's it's like that with everything. You know what I mean? You might have a husband, you're like, oh, my husband, he's amazing in bed, but he doesn't pick up his socks off the floor. So there's good and bad with everything.
And when you first decided you were going to be a musician?
Well, I got a guitar very young, maybe 7 or 8. My parents bought me a guitar for Christmas. I don't know why. And I played around with it for a little bit, and then you know, they were like, practice. And I'm like, I just want to play ball. I want to ride my bike. And so I kind of got away from it for a little bit, but then I started to hear like I really started to get, like maybe 13, 14 years old, 15 years old, I started hearing, like, friends would have, like, you know, oh, here, check out this new Aerosmith record, or, oh, listen to this Led Zeppelin record, and I'm like, wow, this is great, you know. Then I started pulling the guitar out and trying to learn, you know, like Black Dog or Smoke on the Water, or like all these songs, and then I was hooked. And then, you know, like any kid, you know, you're buying magazines and you're seeing like all the stories about Led Zeppelin and their plane and the limousines and the girls and like all, and I'm like, man, I want to do this. So I was probably maybe 13 or 14 years old. I really got the bug. That's when I was like, I really want to do this really bad. And I've been blessed, you know, I've been able to, you know, somehow I'm still doing it, you know what I mean? So I can't complain. I'm here in Rome and being interviewed, and I'm playing music tonight, and life is good.
But did you know you would have this success? Or it was just, let's try it?
You know, I don't think anybody really plans on anything. I didn't really have many options because I quit school. I'm like, fuck this, I want to be a musician. School, I'm bored, I don't like it. So I got a job to support myself, and I just put everything I had into music. And it's funny because right now, if I had to quit playing music, I'd be the guy picking up your plates after you were done eating. You know what I mean? I've got nothing, I don't know how to do anything else other than music. I can write songs for other people, I can help produce other people, but if it's not music, in America we say, I'm fucked. So,
which advice would you give to young people who want to start this?
See, it's funny, like, I would say, you know, this is really weird. I would say have a plan B, like finish school, you know what I mean? Have something to fall back on. But I heard this quote, I can't remember the name of a movie. There's a movie out, and I just saw this, there was a line in the movie that I thought was genius. And it's, what is it called? It's called, I can't remember the name, but it's Martin Sheen, you know, the actor, the American actor Martin Sheen, and Emilio Estevez. And they're playing a father and a son. And the father's looking at his son, and he's going, you know, you're going, basically the son wants to backpack through South America to just see and enjoy things. And the father's like, you have to have a plan B. You have to have a plan B. And the son looks at him and he says, Dad, if I have a plan B, I'll use it. And I thought about it for a minute, and I'm like, maybe that's why I was successful, because I didn't know anything else. It's just like, I cannot accept anything else. So it's weird. Like, I would tell somebody to have a plan B, but most people, as soon as things start getting hard, they quit and they go to plan B. I didn't have that option. So I don't know. You guys figure it out.
Is there anything you would like to change about your career?
Well, I'd like to be a lot wealthier, but no, I can't say I would. I mean, I don't like the fact that, you know, I don't like the fact that, you know, when people look at my list of things, they're like, oh, you were in this band and this band and this band and this band, and you know what I mean? I didn't plan on that though. But I really wouldn't change anything. I loved being in the Scream. It was all new to us. I loved being in Motley Crue. I loved being in Union. They were all great bands. Even Rat, like I went and I joined, I played, but I was just kind of a side guy, like I was in the back. I just played guitar, but I had fun with them. I have a lot of memories about it. You know, again, I've been very blessed to just be able to play music for a living and do, you know, when I go home, all my friends are going to be like, dude, you know, man, you went to fucking Europe for like 6 weeks or 7 weeks just playing music, and you got the life. They don't see all the stuff, but I do understand. They get up, go to work, and sit at a desk all day, or answer a phone, or it's very routine, and my life isn't, and so I get that, and I'm blessed. But I don't think I would change anything.
So before the last question, which is a very silly one, would you like to say anything that I didn't ask?
I don't know. This was pretty good. This was a pretty good, you prepared, very prepared.
Thank you. So the last question is, which tattoo do you like the most of the one you have?
Well, just from a funny point of view, and now I'm very good friends. I've been married twice, divorced twice. My first wife, I was in a band with, her brother, when I was maybe 17, 18 years old. That's how I met her. And we were very young, started dating. We got married when we were like 19 or 20 years old. We had a child together, and we were together for maybe 15 or 16 years. But we have a great relationship. We're still friends. We talk on the phone, like we kid each other. So I told her I got a tattoo for her, and she's like, "Oh, really?" You know, like after when we divorced. I'm like, "Oh, I got a tattoo for you." And she goes, "Oh, what is it?" And I said, "It's this here. This is when I met you. This here. This is when I married you. And this is when we got divorced."
just me.
Can you see?
Wait. Let's try. Okay.
So
yeah.
This is when I met her. This is when we got married. And this is when we got divorced.
So no tattoos for the second wife?
No. I learned my lesson.
It was enough.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much for doing the interview and for being here.